Hello, 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 hello. Oh, welcome. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper. I've actually been wanting to play this game forever. And by forever, I mean since I played Disco Elysium, because I was told that Citizen Sleeper is Disco Elysium if it was good. So I have high hopes, and it was free on Epic, so... But actually, this game is actually really, really cheap, so... yeah, it was my laziness. It was my laziness talking, and Epic beat me to my laziness. But yeah, I actually been wanting to play this game for so long, and I'm really, really excited for it. However, I have one complaint about it. There is no options menu on the main menu. I know that Citizen Sleeper 2 is out, and it's also supposed to be really, 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 really good. But again, we'll see how we like the first one. Which, as I said, it's very much built like Disco Elysium / Esoteric Ebb. Esoteric Ebb is another game I want to check out eventually. Which is Disco Elysium if it was funny. But not sarcastic, cynical haha, but actually ha 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 ha. And also D&D. Is OBS okay? Yes! We beat up Saito yesterday, Juicy. Now we play a different game. Yes! Saito down. Okay, so we have 3 classes. Yeah, I was looking through the classes while I was trying to find the options menu. Which I couldn't until I started the game. But no, we're playing the game 100% blind. I only know the premise, I don't know anything else about the game. So the first class is a Mechanist. A Mechanist repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to Mechanist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Perk, Efficient Extractor. Chance to gain random scrap item on Engineer action. Skills, Engineer, Interface, Endure, Intuit, Engage, +1 work with machines and physical tools, -1 approach a problem head on. If you like the game, we'll just try to play with all 3 classes, because I think they do kind of change how you play it, because it's also a survival game, on top of being a Disco Elysium kind of mystery of why you're in this place kind of game. Operator. An operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Perk, Transfer Intercept. Chance to gain cryo on interface action. Skills, Engineer, Interface, endure, intuit. Oh, it's just the names of those things. So +1 to work with digital interfaces, -1 to use strength or strength of will. Hey, Octavius, how you doing? We are much better today. Thank you, Octavius. And the final class, this one looks actually really cool. I like the big jacket. Extractor. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Perk. Photosynthetic skin. Sun-based dice action allows energy recovery at home. Ooh. Yeah. It's a game I've been wanting to play forever. And I'm actually really excited to give it a shot. +1 use strength or strength of will, -1 approach problems with awareness. I think we'll start as the operator. It's the first option we get. So we'll start with it, and again, if I will like the game, we can actually play as the other classes. Because it's a game with also multiple endings as far as I know. So like decisions matter, things you do matter, choices matter. So we will vibe. If we will like it, we'll play the rest of it and maybe play the sequel as well. And if not, then not. One second. Boom. The first thing you become aware of on walking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. Unknown, where are you? It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from a fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach, until you can't tell one from another. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard at your back, and face cramping your limbs. Let me know if the game is too loud. It's a bit loud on my end, but on the OBS it seems like it shouldn't be too loud on your end. So if it's loud to you as well, let me know. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that your claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited. And once you got the itch to get out, by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourselves into containers, then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. So I guess we're gonna fight aliens? Try to rest. But you're restless. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You're dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Time passes, the cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth, not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from the rigor. Sound too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light, white as the cold, softer and softer, until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. Hey Pyroli, how you doing? There is cheese on my face. How is weekend? Lizard, indeed, lizard. You are out. Okay, it doesn't seem like we can. Okay, yes, we can. Like move across the. Oh, and we can rotate. Okay. Glad to hear that the audio is fine. Dragos, pragmatic salvager. Oh! He has a little mecha spider friend. That's cute. Oh, nice. Ooh, send us the final products, Pyroli. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. Yeah, it sounds like a day to stay inside in the AC. Don't forget to drink water. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ship, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. But... Okay, so drink cold beer or something, I don't know, or eat more watermelon. So, Slipper, you all thawed yet? Almost. Yo! That sounds good. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in Sub-Zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Oh, it looks like he has a voice box. I love the details of this character's design. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. It looks really cute. It looks like it has a lot of personality. I never had juniper beer, I must say. Last living slipper that came through this yard was a while ago. That didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. What happened to them? Deep Sky Derelicts? What is this? Never heard of it. Ooh, it looks pretty. Looks really pretty. He ignores her question. I won't ask what led you to do it. To sell yourself to a corporation, and I suppose you know you can go back. Your old body, that's theirs now, and you're just software? A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. Doing better. We're much better than we used to. Still have some of the leftover ickiness, but I'm better. I'm much better. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms. The cold floor on your feet as you pad to the sleeper cells. The promise of a life offward. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You're no longer that person. You're an offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There is no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. S&ARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well, then no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them, and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? So yeah, it looks like we actually really have to survive. But for now, Sleeper, you're one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away toward the glassy dome of the yard. The Eye is the best place you could be right now. The Eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with, he trails off. There is an old freighter container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside you. Emotion, fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Oh, right, you head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Dragos stalks back into the racks, his drones already converging on a rustling hulk. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figures as he returns to work. Introduction. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. This ship looks really cool. I love that we don't really see the end of it. It's like, maybe it's not even a ship, maybe it's just like a building in the middle of space. You wake curled up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find his body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its messages readable but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the Mylar blankets close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Getting answers. It all matters. The past is impossible to escape if it remains a blur. What S&ARP did to you cannot be forgotten. You need a way of understanding all this before you can move on. Where are you? What is this place? What happened to the others? The questions outnumber the answers. You want to change that, but you will have to learn to survive first. Hey Omer, how you doing? Yeah, we're having family coming tomorrow for some BBQ. But yeah, kinda chilling. We already have a date planned with the movers. And tomorrow my family will come. Hopefully they will want to take some of our stuff. You know, slowly and carefully. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. The Mylar blankets, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. Maud is doing the barbecue. I do eggplant tahini salad, and I do hot mushrooms for the hummus. And of course I am in charge of the french fries. And Maud is making homemade kebabs. And I'm going to marinate some chicken wings, and he's gonna make hamburgers, and we have spicy hot dogs. Yeah, French master. Throw it in the oven and forget about it. My favorite type of cooking. As the pungent smells washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns burning into your minds. Yeah, trying to have some fun. We're talking about us having BBQ tomorrow and us playing a new game, a Citizen Sleeper game I've been wanting to play for quite a while. How are you doing, Kelvin? I'm glad to hear. There is something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you have finished drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best as you can, and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Fair. Condition, action, dice, and energy. So yeah, this part is supposed to be very similar. The dice is at least supposed to be very similar to how Disco Elysium works. But I think here the dice work slightly different. Wait, no, it's all D6s. So this part is like Disco Elysium, but the rest should be kinda different. Condition. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition, now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. So yeah, you roll a certain number of dice, and you use the number you get on an action, and you need to ration your dices to things that you want to cost more. And of course, how you ration your dices affects how the story goes, from what I know. Yes, I did a bit of reading. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He is still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Not good. The drone chirps, Dragos nods. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it will keep you safe. He pauses, so I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to walk? Walk? Look, I'll be honest with you, Slipper. I didn't pull you out of that container out of the goodness of my heart. He looks away. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally, we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands out here, but I figured as a sleeper, you will be used the manual labor. And obviously, I'll slip you a few cheats of commission based on what you turn up. Cheats? This. He pulls out a handful of small metal bars. Airwalt's cryo, isolated from the market. It's what we use for trade out here. He stuffs them back in his pocket. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you would be best suited moving on as quick as you can. And slippers, well, he trails off. But things being the way that they are for me at the yard, I need help. Why? These are a little tight, that's all. I owe a little cryo to a client here or there. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There is plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Pale, low and tall. We need 60 cryo. Okay, so we can only go to the yard for now. Actions. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice to the slot. Action rewards you with clock progress, energy, condition or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcomes. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Or negative, the action fails. Action dice affect these outcomes as follows. A completely yellow, or 6, a 100% chance positive. A 5, 50% chance positive, 50% chance neutral. 3 and 4, 25% chance positive, 50% chance neutral, 25% chance negative. And 1 and 2, 50% chance neutral, 50% chance negative. So honestly, it's hopefully we will get neutral and above as many times as possible. Action display information about their type, risk level, and the skill and modifiers that apply to that action. Type, either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Risk, either safe, risky, or danger. Safe, no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Risky, negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Here's the thing, I would have wanted that like the safe would be yellow and the risky would be white, because it will also go well with the dice colors, but whatever. Danger, negative outcome means condition loss. Neutral outcome can mean cryo or energy loss. Skill, the skill that this action requires, either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. Modifier, either -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some actions require a +1 to perform. So like we are not very good at like, I think we have a -1 in intuition or actions that we need to do on the fly. So we want to avoid those, but we are good with anything that has to do with screens. So we want to focus on those. Action often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the action that fills them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the ones tracking Drago's death, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the action for that location. Let's see, at that called in, Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses payment or two, things could get nasty. That's the cycle clock. Back in business, every salvager knows they are always just one lucky haul away from their next payday. This is risky, this is safe. Drives and navigation. In Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any tracked drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu via the arrow button at the top left of the screen. You are now free to explore Erlin's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you're out of dice. Use mouse wheel or WS. Yeah, this one I figured out on my own. We got 5 cryo. You need to access to corporate pharmaceuticals, otherwise this escape attempt will come at a rapid end. Okay, let's go here. Doxy 4. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Helion systems are rare, but those that do always return eventually. I guess here we will be able to work with merchants. Yeah, seems like we just need to survive for now. Which again, makes sense. Danger and risky. I don't want to use 1 dice for danger and risky. Salvage sortie. It takes several cycles to reach the starboard belt and return loaded with scrap from old wrecks. Bright market. Again, I don't really want to use 1 dice as...
A snake's not a...
Thank you, Azure Lama. Really appreciate it. How you doing, buddy? It's been a while. Hello, Zeltizy. How you doing, buddy? I think this is where we will probably find information about the doctor. But yeah, we don't really have good dice to deal with this area. How you doing, Llama? What were you doing, my friend? Yeah, this one we're too broke to deal with, so let's continue salvaging for now. Nice! Hitman is great. This could also give us information about the doctor, cause... Oh wait, no, it's a plus, so it doesn't matter. Okay, let's go to sleep. We also didn't manage to find any food. Ooh, that's lovely. Let's hope for better dice. Oh shit, we're starving. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, the shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station, no, you feel the station like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. I heard it's really good. The new 007. Touch it. You find a point in the station and you connect to it. Pulse through it, follow loops and paths under and around you. You touch more points than you have fingers. And then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect them. Yeah, I heard only one person complaining about it, and his complaints make no sense, so I heard this game is really fun. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, adding and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling, pulling at you instantly, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there. The station's played out across your mind, a storm of connective good nodes waiting to be explored, and then it is gone. Okay, we need to find food. Urgently. Still no merchants. But maybe not B2, not Rotunda, Bright Market. It's risky, it's a 6. But a higher chance of finding food, hopefully. Local knowledge. Local knowledge is great, but it doesn't give us food. Wait, we found the doctor! And a street food vendor. Hello! Yo, his design is also cool. I really like how the characters look in this game. Memphis is busy. He is both-faced, uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal ball of sliced vegetables in some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of cheats rattles in his apron pockets as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Approach. You join the queue. It's mostly made off of duty's salvagers, vac suits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vests, grabbing mods, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives, their words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Eventually it's your turn, and you shuffle to the front. Emphy speaks in a deep, even tone without looking up. First rice free. Thank him. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy. The smokes make your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you. You sleepers, Emphy says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container, and the endless cycle spent within it. Now it seems you tell him like some dream that you once had but can never forget. Excuse me. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you're unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually, you tail off, running out of words. Anyways, Lama, how are you? It's been a while since we talked. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time we can talk some more, he smiles. But next time, you pay. I adore his design so much. But at least we got some food. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner side and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, slipper. He waves you away and begins to oil the walk. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric pattern of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. Oh yeah. Interesting. You walk away. As you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicate, sweet fungus. Your taste sensor lights up like a fusion reactor. You will be back. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicate, sweet fungus. Your taste sensor... Yeah. We got a drive. We need to find the doctor. Repay Dragos, get to know Emphis. Oh, we will. Sabine. Hub block. Decaying habitation block. Next comes the call from the enforcer of the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You're thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place. But now that you're here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hub block, they have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, your body will... Yeah, at least we're not starving anymore. The rest is a bonus. But also we found the doctor. You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Look at the enforcer. The enforcer is looking down the corridor and you dare to glance at him. His purpose is unmistakable. He is there to intimidate, to threaten, and if necessary, carry out those threats. His broad shoulders are framed with a metal exoskeleton. A couple of mirror-like implants sit below his eyes like mercury teardrops. Subsidiary sense input or aesthetic markers. You aren't sure? You also aren't familiar with the geometric blade-like tattoo on his arm. But you make a note of it. You avert your eyes when he looks back at the queue. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro! The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in a warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment you are transfixed by the motion. Ah, she also looks really cute. Also, she gives me a vibe of a shorty. Like, all the character models seem to be around the same height, but she gives me a vibe of a shorty, and I like it. Also, her hood is really cool. Come, sit, calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please sit. Excuse me. Talking a lot makes me a thirsty badger. Please sit, they gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. Is everything okay? You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on the station? They ask, the scanner still to their eye. A few cycles. They nod. It's good you came to me. They set for the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying, they say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNR doesn't like to see its proprietary, words hard, technology get loose. To prevent bodies like yours, frames, as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping, they built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which SNR remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sounds familiar? How do you know this? They shift in their seat. You are the first sleeper I've encountered. You wait for more, but they go back to their inspection. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch or the metal or anything else. Emulations like you, sleepers, as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and SNR has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Oh, that's fucked. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine walks, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help, they sigh. And you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They are influential in the low end. They give me this space to work on the door and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yatagan has connections. Smugglers from a starward belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine gets down, sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and will be expensive, but I think we can do it. Why help me? Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out and moving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Interesting. So we need to wait for Sabine, but I guess we need to make the cycle work. No, we just need to wait. And it looks like she will give us information in 3 cycles. So, fortunately or unfortunately, we will have to wait. So you were better at endure. At least we can upgrade. Or at least we'll be able to upgrade later on. And I guess we get points if we finish drives. I do want to wait with FS. Get to know him once we need more food. Yeah, salvage salt is not available yet. You're not available yet. Shipyard. Yeah, that's a no for me. Everything is risky, so let's continue on Dragos. Since we can still do the safe job. Yeah, seems good enough. And cycle. Oh shoot! God, this is yeah. We okay. We're gonna go talk to what was his name? I forgot his name. Amphis, get food. Hopefully we have enough money for food. Get to know him so we can progress that drive. We still need to wait at least 2 more cycles for Sabine. So just go to work. But yeah, this is very unsettling. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights, like stars reflecting in a winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the ring. Through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops that it seems almost impossible to parse, but you begin to try. Focus on the nodes, I think. The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all this flow, the only solid and fixed points, you approach one, a pyramid or a triangle. Dimensions are difficult here, and lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, a meeting point of exchange. But before you can glimpse any further, the glass clouds and hardens, cutting you off. The thread and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes, one leads to another. There is so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then, that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see 2 lines, 2 threads, pulling in different directions, as if they were tied around you. The first thread leads out, away from the station, into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. So, are we fugitive? The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something, a sphere shimmering above a strange, angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. Oh my. You open your eyes. Time is short. Someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cycles. Okay, our dice are kinda okay. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the Eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. But be careful, these networks are old and strange. Click the I button at the top of the screen to toggle the view on and off. Oh. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the Eye. They work like dissections, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed on the right of the action. If you have a +1 or +2 modifier in the interface skill, you will be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. Okay. We got an encrypted key. This is so cool. No. This is really, really cool. Okay, we don't have 1 or 3. So we will leave for now. Leave, we don't have a... Wait, it's a 2 or... A 2 or a 3. Nope. No. Not a 3 and not a 2. Not a 2 and not a 3. We don't have a 1 or a 2. 1 or 3. Okay, let's go to Amphis's place. Okay, so we need to eat fungus at least 3 times. So he will trust us. Sabine is still working. As I said, we need to wait at least 2 cycles. Let's explore the market. We got another drive. Build a ship mine. You've heard a talk of a fabricator owned by the Art Exchange. With that and a few fair fragments, you could build a ship mine core. So we need to give him hardware that we don't have. The flow of cheats and components in the exchange is complex, but the sharp eye and some tight trades can net you good margin. I do want to use my final one to keep this one working. Yeah, that's as good as we're gonna progress today. Yeah, I like how you progress it. You know, rationing the dice. Where's hungry again, which is good. As you close up, a voice echoed down the corridors towards you. Slipper, wait up! Turn. Oh shit, he looks friendly. He has a cute can there. Fang. A Havenage system engineer. Fang is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was in old Erlin said? The eye opens for us all. Nice idea, but, well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. Erlin? You pass together into the main walkway. No one has told you about Erlin. He is the founder of this place. That's why it bears his name. Havenage should organize some seminars, he laughs. Not really my department though. I'm with systems. Havenage? Think of us as an administrative association for the eye. Depending on who you talk to, we either emerge as response to or a continuation of Andrei Erlin's original union. He smiles. Personally, I avoid the topic. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I've been seeing some unusual network activity and, well, I know a little about you sleepers. I have a small proposition for you. He glances around, but this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare, then, when you're settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there is work to be done. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper! He walks off down the passage, raising a hand to farewell. Oh my. Okay, let's see if there are things. We have a 1 and a 3. So we might actually get some information. Havenage data, a cache of raw data from the Havenage hardware. I think we need it for something. The cloud. As you drift back from the north, something latches onto you. A thread strung tight around you. It tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. It soars somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown. Astringent. Processing. Resist. Oh, it looks so cool! Like some kind of an eldritch dog. You struggle against the thread and it tightens in response. A glittering garrote. Please hold. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circles around you. It is blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What did you do? The shapes pace around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Slipper, SN ARP? Unknown, known. The figure's strange head rotates. Breakish signature, off and not off. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking vine-like ribbons that flex and wave, they approach with intent. Stop! The figure halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect, you are an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours. Hunter, sentient protocol, unraveling. Ooh. Blocking your vision. You stink of their taste, the one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock? An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out with all your force, not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike of interference leaping out like a tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. Wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. I got another encrypted key. I remember that we need these things for something. I wanna keep the 4 so we can walk again. So I guess the more we use it, the more likely we are to encounter a hunter. Let's go eat. Honestly, yeah. Like, it's pretty much what I expected when I read about it. But it feels way more fun and intuitive than Disco Elysium. Like, I don't feel like this game is sarcastic against me. Or I don't think like the game wants me to fail, but there are a lot of places to fail in. Which I respect. Okay, so we need to get... I think here. But we need 60 cryo, which we don't have yet. Okay, I think in 2 cycles more or less we will be able to finish this storyline. Yeah, we don't have any dice. I think it means that tomorrow we will have 5 dice, which means 5 actions. Which is quite a bit. What do you think about the game mode? No, we only got 3 dice. So how can we go to get to the point that we can use all 5 dice? What is the worst video game to be born in? Wow. Every Souls game, I would say? Because in every Souls game some horrible shit happens and your chances of survival are like near 0. Like we see that the ones that survive are very particular people. You have me for voice acting. Yeah, there is one thing that games like this should take from Disco Elysium is more voice acting, but you know what, I don't mind it. Because instead we just get really good art style. Any Doom game if you're a demon, indeed. Sleeper! Fang catches your attention as you approach the Havenage building, leaning against the bay door to the side of the entrance. Also, we have another 1 and 3 that we can use for information. You approach. Easier to come in this way, security or that. He gives you a look, you know? He slams a button and the bay kicks open, blinking lights in the dark behind you. You follow Fang inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. Also, if you think about it, the Pokemon world is also kinda shitty. Because you're at the mercy that a child won't catch Lucifer and use it to whatever the fuck it wants. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Fang leans on a server stack and gestures around. You like it? What is all this? He taps a nearby server stack, which blips in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from this sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block, speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station. I1? How do you read this letter? A? Ash? To the Google mobile. It does a long E sound, like in the E in fleece. But it can also be sound like an A. Or ash. This letter is whatever the fuck somebody feels about it that day. So just call it Ash 1. The one Solheim built. We have had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the eye and think they are seeing a constant, a concrete reality, but this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new. Dragging it away from those corporate origins, he stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines, humming all around you. I know you can see it too, Slipper. All the systems and sections. You can, can't you? I can see it. It makes sense, right? You're between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Fang notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run though? They're attacking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There is a lot of old growth in this place, subsystems I can't see, access protocols lost to time and decay, secrets, a shitload of secrets. Hey Lothamar, how you doing? I'll say it like that. I despise Disco Elysium, but so far I really like this game. Like, the way this game was described to me is just good Disco Elysium, to me. And also I think this game goes for like dirt cheap. So I say, yeah, it seems more engaging, more interesting. It's not cynical. But yeah, I think this game goes for like really cheap. This game is also quite interactable. I just don't like the vibes and like Disco Elysium. I don't like that game, but this one I actually really enjoy so far. And I like the art style, I like the theming, I like the mystery more. But like, if you like the gameplay of Disco Elysium or Esoteric Ebb, I think you'll enjoy Citizen Sleeper. I don't see a reason you won't enjoy it. Again, mostly because it goes like for really cheap. Like, I think it goes for like less than $20 now. No, and it goes on sale like every other day. Yeah, maybe. Like, I don't mind Bukowski, but I totally understand where you're getting with it. I just don't like the cynicism of Disco Elysium. I think by the end of the game, I was just pushing through it just to finish it. But I was just like... I was so tired at the end of it. Like, I don't say Disco Elysium is bad. I'm just saying, for me, it's not good. But yeah, this one is, I like it. It's interesting. It has more mechanics. That's for sure. It has way more mechanics than Disco Elysium. Because you have survival mechanics and you have rationing mechanics. So you actually need to prioritize stuff. So I really like it because like it keeps you engaged with the systems. Like, you can't really... I don't know if you can cheat stuff. I guess you can just save and reset every day until you get good dice. But I just like that you are forced to engage with the systems of the game. Yeah, look, I'm in the belief that every game is for someone and that every person can find any game enjoyable. But also it's very fair for anyone to not enjoy a game, even if this game is critically acclaimed with awards and it's a very good game and very well reviewed game. Both ways are super fair in my eyes, and I think it should also be fair in everyone else's eyes. But yeah, so far I like it. I've been like playing this game for 1 hour. My only complaint is there is no options menu at the main menu, but besides that I have no criticisms for the game. And I'm being as honest as I can. With your help I can unlock this place, break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. Like, it looks like some of the theming are also a bit like, I wouldn't say that they're like Disco Elysium, but like the theming are slightly similar. You know, about corporations, about people, about human rights. Because here you start as something and you're told from the get-go, you're not considered a human, you don't have human rights. You're a worker. So it like has some of this theming, but it does, I think it presents it in a way that is more matter-of-factly. And I just vibe with it more, I guess. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havenage, there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back into those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and I will see what I can do about the tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Slipper? I'm in. I think for the first playthrough, I'm just in with everyone and see where it takes me. If I'll do a second playthrough with the other classes, I'll just pick the ones that I like more. Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Slipper. Fang passes you a rugged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's a solemn cipher. I dug it up from the depth of the station. Wait, we need it! We actually need it to solve some ciphers. That's cool. Slot that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use the emulated mind of yours and see what's up there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above? He nods at the ceiling. Have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Slipper, and I'll see you soon. Also, Kim Kitsuragi is a great character. It's a great character in a game I don't like. And I think Kim Kitsuragi deserves so much better. There, that's my review for Disco Elysium. Do it for Kim. And fuck Kuno, I hate Kuno. You step, blinking, back out into the passage. Those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Okay, before we go and do some hacking, let's see if we can go to Sabine. Yup! The first thing you see on entering in the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eyes, in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark and you push through the shitting into the surgery. I just adore Sabine's design. It's like a pilot, but also a medic, but also a mechanic. I don't know, I just it's a very slick design. And also vibes of a short king. I have it. Sabine stands with a case open in front of them. A set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how Yatagan they trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I am the test case? That seems to be the case. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an... oh, fuck me. Immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part in each of your biosynthetic organ groups switch over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, difficult word, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from ejecting all of its own organs. Which means the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away. At least if the stabilizer is genuine, the only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. Let's do it. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract fractions of the liquid. They tap the syringe, and you watch as if if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fades into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises, like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. Maud, can you turn on the light in the kitchen? It's getting a bit dark for me to read so much. Thank you.
This way.
No, it's okay. No, this one is perfect. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? What happened? The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yatagan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients, sorry. I think it means we will have to go every now and then to get more of those implants, those syringes, so we can get access to more dice. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You are going to need to pay for your next dose. Yeah, thought so. So we need to check on the food. For example, we don't really need to go and eat today. So we can focus on hacking and maybe start the Mindship side quest. Hopefully. Silence fills the room and they return their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder, how long have you been out? Sabine? Nothing comes free, Slipper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. I think so. I think we'll ideally... One day we will buy food, one day we will buy syringes. We need to make sure we work every day so we can at least afford it. But also we need to reach a balance that we can start saving towards that 60 cryo to open that one door. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Okay, how much does it cost to buy a dose? Holy... That's more expensive than I thought. Okay, so we don't need to eat today. Robota. Okay, so wait, maybe this one? No. You got 5 cryo. So we can kind of steal cryo from here. That's cool. Gate has 7 access. I don't really want to waste it, but I don't think we have a choice. I do want to leave one die, so we can at least walk and finish Dragos' side quest. But maybe we can use one of our keys. No, doesn't seem like it. We got some money. But Fifi Kayo. With Gucci here. Okay, I think we need some scrap so we can do the ship mind quest. Not Fangs Bay. Here. The big stuff goes to the shipyard, the valuable stuff to the markets. They will let you buy a few crates, but not much more. Let's buy more. Because it looks like we can make some profit. Like, it's as good as it's gonna get. Yeah, we lost some money, but at least we got this trusted trader, which is better than nothing. Okay, yeah, I think we can go and rest. And tomorrow we should be able to start with 5 dice, which means more actions. Which means we can finish the Drago side quest, hopefully. Oh, fuck, yes! Oh, that's beautiful. That's gorgeous. Those are beautiful, beautiful numbers. Let's go and eat first. That's a sight to behold. Okay, let's start by sleep. The game knows what I like to see. 1 free we don't have. But it means we can progress stuff. I think in one of them I actually needed a 4. Two free. And we need this thing, which I have no access to. Let's go to Fang. Give him one more piece of data, which means we get some money. Nice. Yeah, I can't buy more scraps. This one will wait. Let's finish this one. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She is a beauty, isn't she? Drago stands to the side, focusing on the hulking ship as it is lowered into the yard. I really like this guy. She is. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up. And now, look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Drago's for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of its crew. What happened? What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. No, what happened to the ship? Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hull, their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching, you wondered if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container, the wreck of the SNR freighter, lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into the strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Drago squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we are up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winterlight. Let's do it. He claps you on your back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few, and we can make a start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting, and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Ooh! We can upgrade. You have completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character menu via the arrow button. This one I know. Okay. Efficient extractor. Okay, we have 2 more dice. Nice. But now we also have a decent amount of money, which means we can access the low end. Huh. $150 to passage even to continue even further. But yeah, I think we will for now. We want to focus on this specifically, and we want to focus on this. But also we want to get him the information so we can cut off whoever is chasing us. Because we don't really have much longer. 5 days is not that much. But at least we're not hungry. And our hull seems to be in a decent shape. I will consider if we want to go to it or not. We have the money, so... It also means we can start What's-His-Face's quest. Ephis? What's his name? I always forget his name. Emphis. I'm bad at remembering names. One encrypted key. What? I need to find out what we need the keys for. Oh, hello! A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of the hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. Hide. You slip down into the ghostly structure of the eye, a feeling like passing through a cloud as their data structures deform and reform around you. Another glimmer catches your eye, closer now. The roving orb. Wrath in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here. Entity, submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you. In that unpleasantly familiar way, it's waving threads creating a cage. Struggle. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing, comes the scream from behind, but you're already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. You're awake, dizzy, distorted, but safe. Okay, we have this one. Let's go and eat anyways. Let's go talk to Amphis. Sleeper! Amphis calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you. Cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? I just love Amphis. I talked to him twice and I already know that he's gonna be a great character. Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours. He looks up to you. Nothing stolen. You pause. The spices reach in your nostrils and think about the kind of story you would like to tell Amphis. You look at Amphis, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Tell him about your dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Amphis, had dreams. So more simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dome scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those grey skeletal after images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares, they were reflections of reality. Distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They sleep behind your eyelids, with every blink. And now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps your reason it is just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift and you hope to make use of it. Amphis finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite a storyteller. He eyes you and you realize that he is trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Amphis passes you the meal he has cooked and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the empty market, but my time is done for today and I do not want to keep you longer, so I will make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stuck behind the stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think. A couple of cycles ago, they said that across the gap in the greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? No. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Amphis begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. Everything for Amphis! I'll prepare them for you and, if you wish to tell it, be the audience or for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Amphis. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Amphis slides his walk away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Slipper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Amphis's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think? A trade that seems more than fair. And because we're limited in time, we will do Dragos' story, but I hope we won't be stuck with Dragos' stories. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. The bags of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Fang's voice echoes from behind the stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. The snaky shitheads! Who is snaky? Slipper! Fang's smiling head pops out from behind the stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here! You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blankets the dark floor. Fang is sat in front of a set of monitors, mounted to a stack. Tell me, Slipper, what do you see here? Fang waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. People. People, yes, but whose people? Solheim? Bingo! He taps at the terminal. I pulled this from the old data you brought in. All employees of the Eye's original owners, and he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Hardin Hurst. Who is Hardin? That, says Fang, giving you a sideway look, is the thing. He drags the stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardin Hurst in Havenage. He waits your reaction. In Havenage? That's it. He's right here on the station now. Fang leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on this station as a... Fang leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises his eyebrows at you. Our Hardin was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Hardin shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back to Solheim. So what? He frowns. I grew up here, Slipper. This is my history. I am a child of the collapse. Fang turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, walked on Solheim ships, they breathed Solheim air, and slept in Solheim beds. Fang's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fists on the terminal edge. And the work that paid for that existence? The cycles of hard extraction out in the belt? Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then, somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys? They were big time. There is a lot money can get you if you're a company man. Fang relaxes a bit. But how is Hardin still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So we're going to find out. Hardin is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Fang brings up a map of the lower eye. Havanage might be born out of Erlin's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. Fang zooms in on the far yards. Fang grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to the system. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid, and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a solemn executive. We need proof. Fang holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a Reaper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It will rip through any digital storage and spins out a silken thread of filtered data. The one is set on the scent of Hardinhurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Fang puts a hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for, remote access? Fang grins. If you can extract yourself a Havanage cipher from a Havanage agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyard. So what do you say? Up for it? What's in it for me? Rooting out the corrupt snake not enough? Find the information and I'll start work on the tracker of yours. Fang scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it will send it back here to me. There is something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Fang digging through data, among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the Eye, as it once was, a vast machine, running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast solemn-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems looking for a new life. The hope for a better future engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you are intimately familiar with. You think of Hardin still alive, still part of his place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. Yeah, we need to find where to put the worm. So I guess it's enough for now. Let's go and walk with the Dagos. Wait. Wouldn't be here? Because it's the shipyard here, around here. I guess we need to wait for the right agent. Okay, let's go for the next cycle. Hopefully find the agent and give him the worm. Okay, we need more money. So we will be able to buy another syringe. Yeah, I don't see where I put the worm. Which is a problem, because we need to do it. Okay, we'll do the safe ones here. Oh, we got scraps. The final piece of the winter light sit in neat piles waiting for the collection shuttle from Havenage. Dragos has managed to sell the remaining pieces to the shipyards, a fact that's hard to forget as he has been telling you about it for the past 2 cycles, and all that remains is for Havenage to come to collect. You look around at the yard transformed from when you first arrived. The mostly repaired drones fleet back and forth, no longer buzzing unevenly or lost in dark corners, and the scrap is sanctioned, sorted, the system that you and Dragos have put into place over the past cycles paying off. As you look, you notice the glow of pale light from the office by the entrance, that run-down cab of a building which houses all the records and spare equipment. Dragos must be inside, and you get to your feet and walk over to find out when the shipyard collection crew will be here. Walk in. You saw you open the door and Dragos flinches. Slipper! Havenage here yet? He busies himself at the desk. The shipyards told me they would be here soon, and they will hand over the cheats, and we're set. He writes something with a stylus on his slate, then shuts it off. Of course, we should talk about the bonus. He stands and turns to face you, his face placid. Look, I don't know when the next job is coming in, but this should tide you over for now. He opens his hand to reveal a stack of cheats. What's going on here? I said it's a bonus, take it. Dragos presses the cheats into your hand. I've done well by you, and you have returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat, and you realize he has prepared what he is about to say. These cheats are for you to take and do what you will with them. They are for me, and they are the last I'm gonna give you. He pauses. There is no more work for a slipper in this yard. He folds his arms. I'm sorry, but that's it. You stay in the container as long as you need, but the yard is done with you. He turns away to his terminal. What do you mean? Don't press me, Slipper. This is for your own good. The glassy apertures on Dragos' headset betray no emotion. You need to stay away, Slipper. He pauses, considering his words. Trouble is going to follow you here. Trust me. What do you know? Dragos kicks at the floor, frustrated with himself. I will not be saying any more, Slipper. And Dragos suddenly grabs you by the shoulder and drags you out of the office into the yard. He turns you to face a stack of pieces from the winterlight, dissected, cut down, totally unrecognizable as a ship. You came through that, Slipper. You should have been you. That should have been you. Chopped and stacked. His hand trembles on your shoulder. That is what happens here. We cut down broken machines and move them on. Well, I didn't cut you down, but I'm sure as hell moving you on. Moving you on before whoever killed that ship out there comes to kill me. What do you mean? He shakes his head. These ships, they didn't get decommissioned. They didn't break down in dry dock. You think they would look like that if they did? Someone ended them. That means someone tried to end you, Slipper. And I'm done waiting for them to turn up. We have had our fun. Now it's time. He gives you a little shove. Go on. He turns and walks back to the office. That's it, he shouts and goes inside. The silence hangs in the air and you leave, with your pockets filled with clinking cheats and a strangely hollow feeling in your chest. Oh my. So we failed. Oh, okay. Interesting. I guess if we had a character that is better with mechanics, we could have actually passed it. But yeah, I would say that this game is replayable. Ship mines cannot be built from scratch, but if you have enough, salvage fragments can be assembled with a fabricator. We need ship mine fragments, which we do not have. Let's go for it. As you step out into the passageway, someone bells into you from behind, sending you tumbling down the corridor. You turn to see an unfamiliar spacer laden with heavy gear. She steadies herself, staring you down as if daring to respond. Excuse me? She squints at you, shaking her head before setting off down the corridor. I'm sorry for her. A second spacer smiles at you apologetically. She's on a mission, and when she's on a mission, they shrug. Not a problem. Pique? Piake? Pique, I think. They smile. You're sweet. Pique! Ash stands further down the corridor, glowering at her friend. She chops at the air, pointing down the corridor to whatever end she is rushing to. Pique raises his eyebrows at you. Ash, please, do you want everyone on this station to hate us? Ash hardens. They want to hate us. They can hate us. She drops her hip. I'm not exactly seeing much love as it is. You're lucky we got through before they set up the damn cordon. Cordon? Big gestures in your direction. See, they don't even know what you're talking about. The station is in Hawthorne. Not everyone has to follow some corporate protocol. Ash sighs. I'm not saying they're part of the administration. She jerks her head in your direction. But I am saying we need to get the supplies to the Briar before someone starts asking questions. The Briar? That's our ship, Pique explains. Pique, Ash rolls her eyes. What are you doing? Pique ignores her. We are with the refugees, the ones Havenage have cordoned off from entering the station. Ash interrupts. The ones that are being quarantined in makeshift vessels that barely made it to the Eye to begin with. The ones with that your station administrators have called an existential risk and are running out of supplies while the right to safety is being debated by people with no stake in their future. She quickly looks away, annoyed at her own outburst. Pique sighs. She's right, people are trapped out there and they turn to Ash. We understand that this is a big problem for the Eye, hundreds of refugees and more ships turning up each cycle. They hold up a hand to stop Ash interrupting. But Ash turns away, her burning anger a palpable force in the close quarters of the corridor. They need supplies, and after everything they have been through, the quarantine isn't helping, Pick finishes. That's terrible. Ash looks back at you, her fierceness fading. Pick, please. Ash gathers herself and the supplies. Ash, we need help, just like the refugees needed us. We need others too. They smile at her. Pick turns to you. Come find us. The climbing briar is docked at the broken spoke, past the greenway, in the wastes. We have a good view of the cordon, though we are keeping our distance for now. Come help us. They squeeze your hand. Aw, do it for Pick. Ash turns to leave and Pick follows, waving goodbye. A moment later, Ash shouts Why is it hard for me to say Ash shouts? Ash shouts back down the corridor. Or is it Ashe? Don't bother coming empty-handed. You want to help? Show us, bring supplies, or don't come at all. And with that, they disappear around the corner, Ash already picking up speed as Pick calls for her to slow down. A refugee flotilla? Where are they coming from, and why now? Each time you think you begin to understand this place, something changes. Okay, this is for late game stuff. I need a skill upgrade for gathering. Okay. Still need to find. Looks like we unlocked the entire ship. But yeah, I have no idea where to put the worm. And we don't really have much time for that. Wait. No. Well, let's go to sleep and hope for the best. First thing first, let's try to find where to put the worm. That is a bit of a problem. Oh, we need this, but we don't have the money. Also, we need to eat. I don't have money for the ship mind. Like, I don't see anyone in the shipyard. Oppa. We got something. Gate H for access. There we go. Okay, we need to wait for 3 cycles. We don't have 3 cycles. It means we kinda wasted time. It means we might actually get the game over now. Okay, let's try to find mushrooms. Where do they go? Wait, the grow beds. Maybe this is where the mushrooms can grow? It's a safe job, so let's go for it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it is helping that much. Let's see if there's a safe job we can do. One second. There is a safe job we can do here at the other side. Any safe job here? Nope. Safe job here? No. Anything safe? No, and we don't have the money. We really need to make money somehow. Let's assist the ship builder. And we didn't get any money out of it. Not ideal. I mean... yeah. But like, unlike other ones, at least it's not annoying and cynical and it's something actually interesting happening. Don't go now in space, you have Outer Worlds that is also capitalism bad but space. We are not doing too Gucci, I must say. We are in a very big predicament because we don't have enough cryo. And it's the final day, so something bad might happen. Okay, I love it. I like his design. Cynical bounty hunter. Hold it there, Slipper, comes a voice from behind you. Don't you run. Stay still. Good, good. A hand pats your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. He's wearing a white smirk and a sleek jacket, and you immediately know he is terrible news. You got all the way out here, and then stayed put. He laughs in a cool laugh. That's a Slipper thing? You're my first. You barely hear him. You have noticed the handgun he has leveled at your chest, and it's hard to take your eyes off of it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out from a belt loop without taking his eyes off you. Looking to the eye though, that's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people. I pull most of my contacts out of asteroid caves or off of godforsaken moons. He splits the ring into two perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there is so much space to pass through. Who are you? Just a freelancer on a contract. He reaches over to slide the ring around your wrist. Go easy. Make a break for it. You see a chance the moment his eyes leave you to watch the rings. You spin, knocking him away and sprinting down the corridor. Then the shot rings out, echoing off the metal so loud it hurts your ears. A bullet hole smokes in the wall beside your head. You freeze and Ethan closes the gap. This is a very boring routine, trust me. I've seen it all before. He slips the ring over your trembling wrists. Ethan nudges you to start walking. To the ship and home, he whistles. Going easy. You stumble down the corridor, your hands behind you. Your mind is racing. Who hired you? Your dad is at SNR. They want you home for dinner. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to SNR right away. That record of yours makes this so quick. Was hoping you would put up a bit more of a chase, you know, a running battle through the bright market maybe, or a holdout in the lowland. There's a few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I asked around. You walk on in silence for a little longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. That SNR tracker will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea, it interrupts your thoughts. How about on the way back to the ship we stop for a drink? I'm buying. He laughs at his own joke. I have a better idea. This better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. Also, muses Ethan, I've got myself thinking, what's the rush here? Here we are in one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate systems and we are heading for the exit. He pauses and you trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea, starts Ethan. You and me, we make a little agreement. Here are the terms. He turns you to face him. You run, or leave, or try to abandon the eye, I shoot you. You plot or scheme, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But, he smiles, you commit me at an establishment of my choice every few cycles, and you may pay my tab. I don't shoot you, he pauses. You don't pay my tab? He rattles his handgun. You get the idea. You are letting me go? Not at all. Let's call it open custody. You are free to mooch around the eye as long as you keep paying up. He stretches. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you, but this is so much better. He clicks something in his belt and the rings release from your wrists. I'm going to see if I can find my old stool at the compressor club. Come see me there. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you that body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. I will know. Ethan turns and strides off down the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? I don't know, we don't have money. We are in a very big predicament. Attacking Yatagan and fragment supply. We need food. Lem and Mina. From the walkway, the sidereal horizon looks impossibly vast. A landscape of plating and frames all along her flanks. Torches flicker, drones maneuver, arc lights glint. The sense of scale of industry is both stunning and strangely unsettling. I guess, kinda, but if you don't pay the Arnona, you're being shot in the head. From the walkway, the sidereal horizons look impossibly vast, a landscape of plating and frames. All along her flanks, torches flicker, drones maneuver, arc lights glint. The sense of scale of industry is both stunning and strangely unsettling. Oh, this gives me a bit of Akira vibes. She's quite beautiful, I think. You turn to see a figure a little way down the walkway, leaning at the railing. He's thin, rugged, his war gear poorly fitting and loose. The torches of the sidereal horizons flicker in his eyes as he turns to you. Lem. He leans back from the rail, revealing a child standing beside him, staring out at the ship. And this is Mina, he adds with a smile. Hi, Mina. She stares and tucks herself behind Lem, who dutifully picks her up. She is a little slow to trust, aren't you, Mina? She buries her face in the folds of his overall. Mina looks out from Lem's chest, a dark brown eye twinkling among the rough material. You working on her then? Lem asks eagerly, gesturing to the vast ship, or just admiring. He shifts Mina's weight to his other arm. Neither. Well, he looks thoughtfully at you. You should consider it, isn't that right, Mina? He jostles her a little. She's Mina's and my ticket out of this place, our escape vector, so to speak. How? You haven't heard? Anyone who takes a Havanash contract on the sidereal horizon will be entered into a draw for the transit support crew. He smiles. You won't get to sleep the journey through, but a couple of decades of service will be nothing for me and Mina if it means landfall on a new world, he winks. Decades? It's a long trip. He straightens up, stretching his back. That's a colony ship, friend. The Celis Foundation is sending thousands of people to settle the system, well outside the reach of the core worlds. It will be a totally independent colony. No surrogacy, no corporations. Celis Foundation. They are Havenage's clients, yeah. Some wealthy project from the core systems. Interested in independence and self-sufficiency and all that. They hired the whole shipyard out, helped rekit it and everything. He strokes Mina's hair. Someone else's dream, I suppose, but doesn't mean people like me and Mina can't tag along. Mina responds by pushing his hand away. Daddy, she whispers, food. Pulling an exaggerated grumpy face, she glances furtively at you as she plays with a set of dog tags that hang from Lem's neck. I'm just chatting a little, Minnie. Give Daddy a sec. He turns back to you, and you suddenly notice how tired he looks. I'm not on the Havenash crew yet, but I will work my way in. You can do it too, friend. We have to stick together. He smiles a little shakily, and you wonder how long he has been working to break into the official shipyard crew. I'm working on it. He looks out at the shipyard, at the sidereal horizon, as if trying to pull energy from those flickering torches from the vast hull. We've got a holdout, okay? You aren't quite sure if he's talking to you. That's how it works. While he stares out, Mina catches your eye curiously. You agree, Mina? She straightens up and meets your eye. Daddy loves me, she says it stubbornly, daring you to question her. I didn't question her. Lem smiles and lifts Mina. That's it, we hold on. He smiles sheepishly at you. We are just a couple of softies, isn't that right, Mina? He sets her down, standing by his side, and she clings to his leg. Gotta go feed this one, he pats her back. Maybe see you on the shift, huh? He turns and they walk down the walkway, away from the shipyard. You see them talking, and and then a moment later, Mina turns around and stops. See you, robot! Her shout echoes down the walkway, and she flashes you a parting smile before running to catch up with Lem. You watch them a little before you turn back to the impossible scale of the sidereal horizon, a ticket out. Oh, it looks like it actually gives us some money. Which is great. At least enough money to buy food. Still don't know where we are supposed to find the fungus. Guess we're getting decent enough rolls. As you arrive, Fang comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, Slipper. He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back to the way you came. Go where? To see Hardin-Hurst. He gives you a sideways glance. Isn't that what you're here for? He steps into the passageway, guiding you downring towards the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. The data you ripped, well done by the way. He grins, tells me Hardin is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of that compound he hides in. Fang takes a sharp turn onto a dimly lit side passage. Sidereal horizon? Still catching up? That's the massive colony ship being built out in the shipyard. Biggest commission Havenage has ever had. Fang slows and slips into a dark service tunnel where somewhere in the black a water pipe drips. It's him, Slipper, the same Hardinhurst. Our worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, an entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. He rode out the whole thing, slipped into Havenage when it first broke off from the Union. He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Solheim, Slipper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here running the station one day, and the next Erlin's Union took power. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the Palladium market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. The pay got smaller, the cost higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents were coming in non-stop, and as new waves of contractors came in, desperate to work, Solheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time Solheim was folding up, dragged into court cases in the central systems, while this severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after the collision at Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died, thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified, and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erlin, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true, but my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in their MV, and welded it to the dock while my father joined the improvised crews, trying to seal up the rugged edges of the gap. He never came back. Oof. Fang pauses in the dark. They sealed it up though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black, apart. Fang finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning. From shits like Hardin, shits who had their place, rode it out and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Fang starts walking again. That's why I can't just let him strut about the shipyard. This time, his past catches up with him. How is he still alive? Clearly you don't know much about executives. The kind of power comes with certain benefits. Fang rejoins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Through the ceiling you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by flashes of plasma, torches. The entrance to the shipyard is ahead. Let's go. Fang grins. Let's go show this shithead some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the door. A web of corridors lead through the complex, snatches of the construction bays always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal imposing. Fang seems to know exactly where he is going, and before long you cross into a huge dry dock locked on one side of the sidereal horizon. A network of platforms and scaffoldings cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space so that the welding, cutting, and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Fang spot them at the same time, a group walking slowly across a gantry, and at the front, two men, one gesturing towards the ship and the other stick-thin, cleanly dressed, with a shock of grey hair. You and Fang say his name in unison, and Fang sets off the staircases to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock, and Hardin nodding along. Hardinhurst! Fang shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in a rippling echo. The figures turn. Oh, kinda handsome though? Yes, Hardin asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Fang, and you see his gaze linger on your body, unsure of why a slipper might be in this place. He also gives me vibes of a short king. You're a traitor, Hardin. A solemn executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Fang's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything that I was rebuilt in the shadow of. Against everything Erlin stood for, everything Havenage stands for. You have no place on this station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Hardin laughs. Well, good to meet you too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, the other nervous. You're from the systems branch, are you not? Asks Hardin, inspecting Fang's clothing. Fang turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Fang and Hardin, his hands drumming at his sides. Hardin leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. Stay silent. Fang holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right. I'm systems, and I have records that link you directly to Solheim right here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I am asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at the members' meeting for a proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow and tries to turn my own men against me. You hear it now, the echoing sound of boots on walkways coming from all angles at once, and then settling behind you. Please, says Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels, then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black sidearms at their sides. Fang spits. Hardin, you shithead, you can't wriggle out of this one. A security officer draws their weapon and levels it. Fang turns and stares at him down. Go for the weapon. As you move, Fang puts a hand on your shoulder. He shakes his head and he nods to security. Let's go, says Fang, and he pushes through security, heading back down the walkway. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Fang picks up pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Fang is grinning ear to ear. You know, Slipper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket, and he takes it out. On the slit of a web of connection starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. Got them, mutters Fang. What is that? That, Slipper, is something our worm added to Hardin's personal slate. We are tracking his outgoing messages. Fang's grin looks ghostly in the uplight of his screen. The old ways are best. Spook them good, enough that they will give you give the game away. He jumps at the slate, and you see the web is being drawn over a map of the ring, lines bouncing from point to point. All these dots? These are Hardin's bodies, the ones he is messaging right now, and we are going to find them all. That was on purpose? Of course! Hardin isn't walking alone. We need the full set or nothing. Fang glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We better split for now, Slipper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. Wait, didn't he promise that he will remove the tracker for me? With a pat on your shoulder, Fang drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. Angry! I think we need to upgrade it for some missions. He not only has been missing, he kinda fucked us over because he promised he will remove the tracker. Ah, bastard. But yeah, I don't know where to find the mushrooms. Each shift, a crowd of would-be workers gather outside the shipyard, each of them clinging to a 4-digit number printed on receipt paper. These are their assignment numbers, and you are either called for a shift or you aren't. As you arrive, the crowd is restless and chatter rumbles through the lines. For those who, like you, have graduated to the work teams, shifts are guaranteed. Having just walked out of the meeting with the supervisor, where you were praised for your efforts, you feel the glow of a job well done. Yet, you can't help but feel empathy for those huddled as you pass, waiting for their number to come up. You keep your head down as you leave the shipyard, feeling a little guilty as you do. Hey, Slipper, wait up! Lem's voice trembles as he shouts above the rumble of the crowd, and you turn to see him pushing through, Mina crying in his arm. Lem! Good to see you, friend. He is breathing hard after shouldering through the waiting workers. You made the work team. Good for you. He tries to catch his breath, stroking Mina's hair as he does. Shh, baby, give me a second here. He smiles weakly at you as he comforts her, and her cries start to fade. Out of the crowd, he sets Mina down by his side. Shiny streaks down both of her cheeks. As he does, you see he's clutching an assignment number on a crumpled piece of paper. Is Mina okay? She's good, we just had to rush up here. He puts his hand on her shoulder and she clings to his side. Esther, who usually takes her, is sick. He stretches. I don't know. A noise sounds from the entrance, a klaxon followed by a list of numbers glowing brightly on the display screen. The crowd responds instantly, pushing and pulling as people try to wait the entry checkpoint. Lem stops and turns back towards the crowd, then glances down at the crumpled paper. That's my number. Shit. Mina. He starts patting the pockets of his gear and glances around. Go, I will watch her. He blinks a little, staring. Thank you, I will. He crouches to Mina. You are going to stay with our friend here, okay? They are going to keep you safe and... He stands back up. Here, take her bag. He shoves it into your hands. She's got food, she's got... Shit, I've got to go. He backs away to the crowd. Mina, I'll be back real soon, okay? Be good. Then Lem disappears into the rolling crowd, who are now trying to get into the shipyard before it locks down. Oh, she has a little bunny. Mina stands staring suddenly, small without Lem at her side. She fixes you with dark-eyed look you can't quite read. Hi, Mina. She holds the stare unmoving. The two parallel tear tracks still glint on her cheeks. You okay, Mina? She sniffs and looks down. Look in the bag. You unlatch the top of the bag and see a few metal containers fashioned from scrap components. A battered slate sits on top, blinking a low battery warning, and tucked beside it is a ragged rabbit, hand sewn. Take the rabbit. You pull the rabbit out of the bag, its long limbs waggling as you do. Mina goes to jump and grab it, but holds herself back. She stands and hugs herself, eyes on the rabbit. What's their name? Mina turns away and looks at the entrance to the shipyard. This isn't going well. Give her the rabbit. You hold the rabbit out and Mina snatches it from your hand. She hugs it tightly without looking away from you. Bun Bun, she says, staring you down, ferocious despite her size. Hi, Bun Bun. You move a little closer as you speak, closing the gap. He doesn't speak, she says. She looked at you suspiciously, but her face softens a little. She waggles Bun Bun in front of you, and then walks him up your arm and onto your shoulder where he sits. Ah, we're bonding! She pokes your arm a couple of times. Are you really a robot? Sort of. Yeah, she thinks. Me too. Mina has more questions. Lots of questions. Questions about how you breathe or if you rust. But before long, You're talking about rabbits, and what Esther, the lady who usually takes her, smells like, and whether or not fairies live in the eyes heating pipes. You pass the time like this, sitting side by side on the floor of the walkway as others pass by, sometimes talking, sometimes drawing on the slate, sometimes playing with Bun Bun the rabbit. Ah! This shit's awesome. And this is how Lem finds you. Just as both of you are starting to yawn. He's dirty and tired, but Mina lifts up his leg and into his arms as he stumbles backwards. You two get on okay? He asks, trying to keep Mina from climbing onto his shoulders. More than okay. Mina shoots you a smile from Lem's arms, her suspicion gone. Well. Looks like Minnie can be nice. He pokes her in the ribs and she squeals in delight. Thank you, friend, I mean it. He gives you a warm, white smile. I owe you. Look, he glances around. It seems like Esther, the lady who usually watches her, is going to be out for a spell. If you ever have some time, I would really appreciate you coming down to our place to the lowland. Low end, he grins sheepishly. If you have time. But now I have to take that one to eat. He plays at biting Mina, and she giggles in response. See you, Slipper. He waves, and they stumble off down the corridor, drawing gazes from passing spacers as Mina's laughter echoes down the corridor in bright squeals. This shit's wholesome! This shit's really wholesome. But yeah, it seems like we can actually go and babysit Mina, which is really cute. More Havanage data. Still wonder how I am supposed to help Fang since he disappeared on me. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Citizen Sleeper. It's like Disco Elysium, but in space. We are not doing Gucci at all. First of all, we need food. Like, bad. Secondly, we need to get 100 cryo ASAP. Yeah, it's a lovely game. So far, I'm really vibing with it. Yeah, Fang is gone. Doesn't seem like I can really do anything about it. Hellion Crossing not around. Yeah, can't really do much here. Rotunda. With only one dice, it's not worth it. We need to do something that is rather safe. But we also need to get money. Nice. Oh, they actually also fed me! But yeah, we don't have enough money, so that's actually really bad. Like really bad. Because soon I might be out of energy. Yep. I love it that when in video games I am really stressed for money. At least we don't need to worry about food. Yeah, I won't take a dangerous job yet. No, and then no, we can do a risky job. Got Dock Watcher. Okay, so we can buy rations, which are is cheaper than fungus. Not the first time. Usually people think I'm either a raccoon, or a skunk, or any other animal that is not a badger. This design is also pretty fire. Hey you, wanna hear some shit? Ankita stands beside a huge pile of tied together hull plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. Shoo? You cross the docking concourse as she begins to split the plating into two bundles. What is it with this place? She asks as she lashes the massive plates together. Everyone wants their cut. She straightens up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks you up and down. Don't try anything, alright? She taps the butt of her sidearm. I don't want to have to put anyone else down today. Wouldn't think of it. Good. She pauses. Look, I'm not usually... Let's just say my temper has been a little short lately. Ankita hoists one bundle of plating onto her shoulder. Come on then, enough chat. You've got to earn the cheat. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually. Ankita gives you a look. Ship's this way, and she sets off down a gantry at impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of stiff doors. Why are you doing this yourself? Now, what's all this for? Oh, this! She nods at the plates on her back. I'm building a treehouse. She gives you another overlooks. It's for the ambergris, the cutter you might have seen sitting silent out there. She rapidly turns another corner. As you trail behind, she got cut up pretty bad on our last job, and I had to move up here for a spell. But since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core from our ship mind. So now she's gone dark. She shifts the panels on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short one ship mind with a ton of repairs to do, and the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind. I'll be stranded, so yeah, it's been time. Anything I can do to help? If she needs a ship mind, it's a problem. We need at least 4 ship minds. And with her, we need 5 ship minds. Oh wait, no, we need 3 ship mind pieces to build 1 ship mind. The question is, do we need 2? Or can we do with 1? Anything I can do to help? And no, got a ship mind tucked away in that frame of yours? For a moment, you aren't sure if she's serious. Ankita swings the plates from her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is me. She holds the second bundle off your shoulder. Ooh, good luck with that. You're the first person I've met here who might actually be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom lip. Look, you want to help? Come see me. I need a hand putting Amber back together, and you don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. She passes the bundle of plates through the ambergris outer lock, and then turns back. Just don't go spreading all this around. Ankita throws you a couple of cheats. Consider it a bonus for not trying to grift me. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorways. Alright, get out of here. She calls back, and the lock slams shut. Okay. We still need a safe job. $58? We are so fucking broke. I can't believe you just did that. Ethan's mocking laugh comes from along the bar. You look over to see him leaning across it in a pool of light, emptying glasses and spilled drinks glinting around him. It's always dark in the compressor, but this cycle the place is packed, a lot of spacers mixing with the locals. Usually they run. Ethan spins a glass on the bar. Or they go spend their savings on some local heavy I have to put down. They don't pay. I'm done. Wrong, not even close. Ethan gets to his feet. The glass falls and smashes, but he doesn't seem to notice. You think that's it? 1 round of drinks and we're even, Sleeper? Come on! Then comes to rest on the butt of his handgun, dangling from a chest holster. What's wrong with you? Ethan laughs hard, and the people around him turn to see what's happening. You think this is on me? I think someone in your position might have a better idea of how this all works. I'm a freelancer, Sleeper, just like you. We both signed a contract with SNARP, didn't we? The difference is that my word means something. Closes the gap, stumbling a little. What did you think? You could just run away from your contract, your debt? You could just steal that nasty little body of yours and take it for a joyride? Play human for a cycle or 2? I'm nothing like you. That's what I'm saying! Ethan is addressing the bar now, having noticed the attention from the other patrons. You're a coward. I'm a professional. So I should thank you, Ethan nods, his head heavy, for giving me such an easy job. I'm used to outlaws, you know, real bounties. If I knew catching... Excuse me. If I knew catching sad little escapees like you was so easy, I would have changed clients ages ago. Someone shouts from the back of the bar for Ethan to shut up. He holds up a finger in that general direction without turning around. Shoot me or let me live. Oh, I see, toughening up here. He gestures wildly at the crowd. Thumbs up or thumbs down, folks. Most turn back to their drinks, no longer interested in this tired show. Ethan mutters insult as he walks back toward the bar. Oh yeah, I know Joyride. They don't sell it here though. But it looks good. Ethan sits heavily back down on his stool and searches through his glasses for one with something left in it. The thing is, Slipper, I can find you anywhere. It's actually wild that you haven't figured it out. That body isn't yours, and it will always betray you, no matter what. He finds a glass and downs the contents. So please go. I'll catch up with you whenever I need another. He laughs and taps the bar for a fresh drink. Look at yourself. Give it up, Slipper. I'm done teaching you for today. He settles his head on the bar and closes his eyes. I'm sick of you. Go find a job. You turn on your heel and are out of the cloying dark and the sweat stench of the compressor. You walk hard and fast down the walkway, anger driving your footfalls into the metal of the rim like hammers. Yeah. The plot is plotting. But at least we found cheaper food than fungi. At least we can make some money here. Sometimes we get money here, that is. But yeah, it seems that food-wise we won't need food, we just need to get 100 to buy a medicine. Also, we can just waste dice now to get energy from the sun, so we don't really need to waste money on food at all. It's been more than a few cycles since Fang confronted Hardin, and the silence since has been noticeable. In your time with Fang, you haven't exactly found him to be reliable, but you did expect to hear the end of whatever plan he put into action. But if he won't come to you, you think as you approach the Havenash building, then it's time to come to him. After all, he did promise to fix your tracker, and you are getting nervous. It's YouTube chat. I think the only thing that can kind of fix it is to refresh it every now and then. Unfortunately, I don't really have control over it. It's YouTube being YouTube. Which is a shame. As you approach the bay doors, you see them wide open and light pouring out of the once dark room. Stacks of servers and terminals sit outside the bay, suddenly robbed of their mystery by the bright flood lamps. A figure in Havenash security fatigue steps out of the bay as you get closer, carrying a stack of hardware. Approach. As you get closer, you see the security officer taping up machines from Fang's stash with what looks like hazard tape. This isn't good. You again? Hardin is there, leaning beside the bay entrance so calmly that you barely noticed him. He has a slate in his hand, an inventory of seizure crawled across it. Predictable. Further evidence of Fang's collusions. You see another security officer come out of the bay and take notice of you. Hardin? No, where is he? Feigning ignorance or perhaps just abandoned? Hardin shakes his head. I believe you should choose your conspirators more wisely. I almost feel sorry for you. Hardin pushes away from the wall and comes closer. Don't worry, Slipper. We have all the evidence we need. A confession won't be necessary. He gestures around the stacks of hardware. Spying on fellow Havenash members, hoarding Solheim materials, an obsession with corporate data. It speaks for itself, does it not? It tells you nothing. We will see what the council has to say about that. He looks up at the glass roof above and the stars beyond. We are the ones that provide the oxygen you're breathing, the light you're seeing, the systems you use every day to live out your cycles. This place was hard fought for, Slipper. It took work, diplomacy, and strength to stop the eye descending into chaos after Solheim collapsed. Not blind conviction or self-interest. You're the self-interested one. More accusations! What have you achieved, Sleeper? Your entire existence is proof of your self-interest, signing yourself over to be emulated rather than work yourself. Whether you remember it or not, you suffer from the same short-sighted perspective as the person you were copied from. Thank you, EJ. I really appreciate it, buddy. Have a nice day. And enjoy your joyride. You see, Sleeper, we are proud of our history here. Andre Erlin and the First Union founded this place, and Havenage has wielded his values into the station's very wall. We will never turn away the hard-working, the just, the true citizens of the Eye. Havenage aren't a gang like Yatagan. We aren't pirates like half the spacers you will meet in the hub, or esoterics like those Hi-Fi radicals in the Greenway. We are the backbone of this place, proud and true. Thank you, I really appreciate it, my friend. We named Erlin's Eye, Sleeper. This is our station. He meets your eye. So please, take your false accusations somewhere before I decide I need that confession after all. History will catch up with you. I'm not afraid of history, Sleeper. We are making it here, cycle by cycle. He smiles. If you have any pride, you'll give up Fang the moment he contacts you. You know where to find me. With that, Haldin turns his back and walks back towards the security officers, ordering them to continue the clear out. As they do, something catches your eye among one of the server stacks, a crumpled hand-printed box of synthetic chewing gum, a penguin character grinning from the brightly colored card, and scrolled onto it a speech bubble reading, "Take me to Tambour." Take it. You carefully pocket the box, making sure no one is watching, and then turn away just as another stack of servers is wheeled out of the bay. What have you done, Fang? And where the hell is Tambour? Tambour is where you go and buy paints. I'll take a drink of water. I'm enjoying the game, but the reading hurts. Let's try to find where we need to shove this bubble gum. Not here. Not here, and we're broke as fuck, holy hell. Okay, let's hack this guy. Maybe we'll get information. And also money. Yeah, nothing too interesting here. Let's look for a risky job. Yeah, we are pretty much broke as fuck. Got Dock Watcher. Neovend. Looks cute. As you slip inside the sealed dock, a pulsing light grabs your attention. Among the discarded tubing and rusted plates, a machine flickers with a warm glow. Approach the machine. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shape settled into an alcove in the side of the dock. A kind of upright cabinet? It is covered in faded logos and messages, from which you assume it was once an industrial vendor intended to dispense and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts necessary for the regular runnings of freight and resource extraction vessels. The manufacturer is listed as Neovend, and you remember an advert from long ago, squeezed among all the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet-born citizen, which cheerfully sang that name over and over. You wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking of those contractors squeezed by their own corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on the rented ships. Enter your registration, chirps a pre-recorded message, catching you off guard. Press some keys. You reach for the keypad and something begins whirring. At first it sounds like servo motors starting up, but it quickly becomes a whisper, whining, then a multi-tonal voice that emanates from Neovend. Entity, they hiss. Speak with me. Who is there? There is a squeal, almost like some strange mechanical swallowing or intake of breath before the machine speaks again. I have need of you. You have need of me. That squeal comes again, and you see that it is the 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine, resetting into place, so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whining voice. You're in danger. Danger. The machine creaks. You are marked for deletion, entity. Hunter tracks you. The screech rattles through the empty dock. You remember the strange head, the figure, the threats closing in. Hunter. The Hunter protocol. They test your signature. The sudden whine sets your teeth on edge. You have seen them. This is the gift of an emulated mind. You close your eyes and the skeleton of the station starts to thrum. Emulated minds are adaptable, move where neurons cannot. The mechanism resets, but emulations makes you target. How? Hunter searches for illegal entities. Neoved screeches. You are sentient, therefore illegal. The servos judder the vending machine's casing as they reset. Hunter searches for me also. Hide in this machine. You look at the ruined vending machine, an unusual hiding place for Shoo. Can counter Hunter, but need entity outside machine. The light flickers. Need you. A screen attached to the vending machine with a swiveling arm comes to life. It displays a flickering map of the station, ghostly, threaded. The cloud points along the rim glow in deep red. Hunter is always gathering. Too much data. Must build nests. Explains Neovend. Masters are gone, but continue hunt. Bring this data. Raid its nest. Why? Masters? Station builders. Solheim. The machine rumbles impatiently. Long gone. The protocol still haunt. Bring offerings. Save self. Neovend says pointedly. Mutual need means friends. They conclude, tired of the conversation. The whirring amplifies and then suddenly drops as mechanism within the machine click back into place. The glow fades and you are left stood in the dark of the sealed dock, the whirring voice ringing in your ears. Okay, so we can try it in the next cycle to try to extract this data. And we're still fucking broke. Yeah, I don't really have any good dice. Wait. Yeah, I don't have any good dice. And we need money. ASAP. Wait. Well, we got some money. I think if we die, we will call it a stream, and next stream we'll just retry the game. So I won't buy all the access ports first, so we can actually save some money. Yeah, no, it's game over for us. The compressor is quiet today, the usual crowd are elsewhere, and the pumping music washes over a handful of spacers and a few drunks. Ethan is still in the same stool in the same pool of light. His head is low, closer to the bar, and the bartender is ignoring him. Approach him. As you get closer, he lifts his head and turns. Sleeper! He turns to look at you. Time to pay up again, is it? He gestures to the bartender. Come here, take their shits. No more, Ethan. Ethan doesn't even look at you. He props his elbows on the bar and holds his head. Slipper, it's been a long cycle. I don't care. Ethan lets out a long sigh. He rapidly rubs his eyes with his palms. You're right, he says quietly. This isn't fun anymore. He reaches towards his holster. His elbow slips and the gun tumbles out. It clatters on the bar and falls to the floor, bouncing onto the ground between you. Both you and the bartender look at the gun, stare at it. Butterfingers, says Ethan, and puts out a hand, beckoning for you to give him the gun back, if you would. Why the fuck would I do it, Ethan, you fucking idiot? Your design is great, but your brain is stupid. The bartender looks at you warily. You crouch down and pick up the gun. Point the gun at Ethan. Ethan turns his head in your direction a little, a sharp pale eye locking with yours. The bartender backs away. Oh. He turns on the stool. Oh, sleeper. He stands. This is more like it. Pull the trigger. You don't wait. You pull the trigger. The gun clicks. By now, all the attention in the bar is on you and Ethan, who looks at his gun with a bemused expression. The bartender raises an open hand, and in it are 10 shiny bullets. 10 shiny bullets he took out of Ethan's gun while he was asleep on the bar. Ethan smiles at the bartender. Oh well, he says and grabs the gun, slamming it back into your face in a single move. You stagger back and drop to a knee. Somewhere nearby, the gun clatters on the surface. The hit's a glancing blow, but it makes your vision swim. Through the blow, you see Ethan wrestle a small, thin slate from his belt and hold it up. Enough of this! I'm logging the job and calling it in. Ethan taps at the slate. No more playing. Your head aches. Ethan taps through a few screens impatiently. He swears and taps again. He starts shouting, a dull echo to your ringing ears. He starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. He crouches down and grabs you by the chin. His face closed, his breath heavy with drink. As an ARP just screwed me. He grins maniacally. They cancelled the contract! He stands up. They cancelled the contract! He shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. You stand up, struggling to your feet. The sting of the heat fading. Ethan is rubbing his temples, his face pale. You hear a clicking sound, like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded into a magazine. When you shake off the last of the blow, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. Ethan stumbles back towards the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. I'll kill all of you! He screams. He stumbles into the wall, spinning away towards the door. I'll be back for that! He shouts at the bartender and lunges out of the compressor. Holy shit! You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. The rumble of conversation returns. The bartender goes to say something, but then thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out into the light of the bright market, looking for Ethan around every corner. We are in a predicament. Wait, we can actually buy some food. I just don't remember where it was. It's better than nothing. But yeah, we are running on fumes. We are dying. Yeah, I blame Ethan for it. Breakdown. Your condition has reached 0 and you have suffered a breakdown. One of your skills is broken, it will be locked to -1 and all perks disabled. It can be fixed with 1 upgrade point. After you rest, your body will recover some condition, but your skill will remain broken until it is fixed. And I can't really do much. Okay, I think... Here is my plan. We'll call it a stream. Next we will restart the game. I won't rush to open the whole ship, because it was just a waste for around 200 sheets. Yeah, I just did stupid decision. But again, it's like one of those games of trial and error. So tomorrow if we will stream tomorrow, we'll restart the game from the beginning, and we will be more careful, and maybe we won't fail that one mission. But honestly, so far I really like this game. I like it more than Disco Elysium for sure. I'm really curious to see where it is going. Anyways, thank you for watching, thank you for talking, thank you for being amazing. I love all of you. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.